shit. Everybody responds at, friend, I guess. Okay, have you ever, like, I guess, I don't know. Tonight was the worst night, like, New Year's of my being. Like, honestly, I went out, had a good time, met up with my friends. Like, me and my friend met up with my friends. And everything was good. And just, like, as soon as he met up with, I don't know if it's girls likes or what it is, but as soon as we met up with them and stuff, we started acting like a total douche towards me. He started acting like a total prick. And I don't know, he just, you know how guys get when they're around too many girls and then they just pick one and all of a sudden they just like treat you like shit and hang out with this one. I don't know if you all know about that, whatever. But yeah, yeah, so he basically treated me like shit and it made me feel really bad because I he's like I think the only guy right now, actually, for the last 3 years that I've liked. And this is I'm hinting it to him. I've told him that I like it. And it's like he doesn't even care. Like he keeps saying I'm not his type. I fine, that's fine. And then he'll go and flirt with someone that's just like me. I think he does it so it'll get on my nerves. And tonight he was supposed to stay over my like here. Like all I was asking was for him to be a friend. And he turned everyone well, no, he didn't turn everyone against me because that'd be a little much to say. Um Basically tonight all I was asking for was, friends. And instead he was too caught up in himself and what was wrong with him and stuff like that to give a fuck. Yeah. So um yeah. And instead when there was a band down in front of a place on the street called the Esplanade around Lincoln City there. And I just kind of said, okay, well, I'm going down to the band. Um, if anybody, wants to come, speak up. And he he's like, well, I'm not going to some stupid band. And it's all a bunch of, it's really gay down there and blah, blah, blah. Or whatever. And then I walk away and he's like, alright, then. And then he calls me like, on this freaking chick's phone. Like, apparently my friend. I don't know. Because she neglects to call me her friend, so I just probably just gonna stop calling her my friend. Um, but yeah, so, he called me on her cell phone and asked me why I was going down. And I said, well, because there's nothing else to do, and you guys are just standing around hoping for someone to come up and kiss you at 12 o'clock. Because they believe in that shit. Well, they believe in random strangers coming up and giving them kisses. Shit like that. Shit that's that won't actually happen. At least not in Sydney here. Unless it's like a fucking dream or a trick of the face. And I said, look, because it's a tradition for me, and usually my grandparents go down to the band every New Year's, but this New Year's I couldn't because I was hanging out with them. So I told them, like, because it was actually starting to make me cry. I will I will give it that. It was starting to make me cry because he is so blind. He didn't even realize that I liked him. That I like him. And there was only two people that I wanted to kiss that tonight, and that was either him or one of my other friends that wants to kiss me back but has a girlfriend and can't. Not to mention, wasn't here. Yeah, so that was fun. And I I caught back up with them and I told them, I said, I'm just gonna go home, take a shower, like, and I'll probably come back out. I'll just text you, and I'll be down at the big fiddle. And they're like, yeah, okay, whatever. So I went home, I took a shower, and I I got out of the shower and then I went down to the big fiddle and I texted my friend, this guy, and and he said, yeah, okay, well, we'll be there in a few. And I said, okay, and then he replied back, okay. And after half an hour, I said, are you guys coming? I said, where are you? And he's like, oh, we're just kind of walking around, wandering. I'm like, are you supposed to be coming down here or no? And I'm like, if you aren't coming down here, then I just wasted a half an hour. And then he's like, yeah, well, whatever. I have to go because my phone's gonna die. And I'm like, yeah, fuck you too. Thanks a lot. I said, you're being such an ass. And he's like, no, I'm not. I said, yes, you are. Just because, like, this freaking chick is here, you're being such a total ass. And then he's like, okay, well, whatever. And he knows that he's being an ass. He just neglects to do anything about it. And instead of staying here, I came home. I waited for an hour for my friends to show up. And instead of him coming back here like he said he would, he went back to this girl's house and said, and I texted them. I said, "Are you guys coming anytime soon?" And and he said, "Oh no, well, I'm sorry." Uh, and I said, "What?" And he's like, "Well, I have to stay over." Or he's like, "Well, I'm staying over Jessica's house tonight." Oh shit! I just said the name. He's like, well, stay over her house tonight. And I was like, you're supposed to be staying here, your stuff is here. And he's like, well, I'll come and get my stuff tomorrow. And her, and they put dot, dot, dot for like, I swear to God, a minute. And then he came back with, her mom is very protective. Yeah. And she won't let me go anyways. When her mom actually doesn't care. And even, like, and that's the only reason for that is because me and her live 5 blocks away. But no, no. Of course, he had to, he had to ditch me the second time. I don't find it fair. It's just not fair. But yeah, so that was my uber long video, but a bunch of crap that probably won't matter to anybody on here, but I need something to rant up to, so yeah. Right, well, thanks.